Hello! Great news. Something very funny and very cool too. Um, there's an old saying from a book after a war, I think it was in Japan, where the emperor says to his general, he said, "Come here, this is amazing," something to that effect, out the window. And he says, "Do you hear that?" And the general says, "I only hear the birds chirping," or something like that. This is after a prolonged war of, hearing people screaming and shouting and, all sorts of horrible things. Like, it's exactly. Sometimes what really screams is nothing. And as I told you, Fuji does not, and really, they are basically the only people that I know of in the camera industry that is not dangling their customers out there as beta testers. So they're just not. And the silence has been deafening, and that's a really good thing. I went into my local camera store today, and there was a dude literally forking over his credit card, and he had an X-T2 in front of him. And one guy said, "Yeah, he's buying an X-T2 too." And he turns to me, and he's an older gentleman, and he says, "Heck." He says, I've never met you." He said, "I just bought this camera. I've been watching your videos. I bought it off of your recommendation." It was so weird. It was so deja vu. Deja vu is not the right word for it. A really tall guy, looked like he was in his 50s, and looked kind of rich, actually. Not that I know. I was like, well, that's really neat, And we didn't really talk. Apparently, he was in a hurry, and he bagged her up and headed out the door with this new Fuji X. I was like, well, that's so cool, I didn't say that to him. But I was just smiling and nodding my head. And it's like, wow, that's really neat. Interestingly, I'm not going to name the person, but a real hardcore, very famous photographer emailed me yesterday or the day before yesterday. I've been up basically almost nonstop for days and days now. I didn't go to bed until 10 a.m. this morning, and I only got 3 hours of sleep. A really famous, awesome, great photographer emailed me, and he said that he bought the X-T2 off my recommendations in the videos, and he just emailed me a short while ago, and I'm going to paraphrase what he said to you in 2 emails that I just got. He said that he's just incredibly happy, and he used some exclamation words, very positive exclamation words. This guy should be a Fuji X photographer. I mean, maybe he doesn't want to be. Some people, that's just kind of like a famous spot anyway. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm a Fuji photographer. Just like someone saying, hey, I'm a Sony artisan. I mean, none of that really means anything. I mean, your artwork speaks for itself. You don't need to be sponsored by anybody. But his artwork is really above and beyond, it is way out there. Everybody that, I've said, hey, look at this guy's pictures. They're just absolutely, this is what, need to take a look at the light. Just incredible. So he says he's insanely happy, and he didn't use the word insanely, but he basically said that in so many words, and I said I was really happy that he was happy, and I am. Above anybody else, it's like, a really famous guy that spits out some awesome, beautiful photographic artwork, took the recommendation and is not only happy, he's just like over the moon happy. And I'm going to quote him again here in another email. He said this about the X-T2 that he just got, and he said he doesn't have the vertical grip yet either. He said he is shocked by how even without the vertical grip, the performance is just amazing, and his exact words were something like to the effect, "This is where I was expecting mirrorless to be a couple years from now, but it's here now with this camera." Those are his words, and this guy is a hardcore Fuji shooter, and you couldn't find a single person on earth that would ever look at his artwork and say, this guy is, yeah, that's the stuff. That's awesome. So it's been great that all the bulletin boards, the silence has been deafening because Nikon and Canon. No, I haven't jumped ship. My Nikon stuff's not going anywhere. Like, I've been doing a bunch of Fuji reviews, so I don't want to get any more comments from people like, oh, you've jumped ship to Fuji's. No, I told everybody I'd be doing this, and everybody wanted me to do it, so, It's unveiling, and I'll be doing tutorials. But the silence has been deafening, and that's a good thing. You know, usually someone releases something, it's like, oh my god, I found a bug. And then someone else is like, oh my god, I found another bug. And it's like, oh my god, look at this. You know, this. No, there's no perfect camera, but Fuji has not turned its customers into beta testers. And very, very important point. The people are chirping about what other people are chirping about the X-T2, but I'm telling you right now is what I'm chirping about to you is the fact that there is no chirping going on out there. Like, oh no, this isn't working. This locked, you know, this is, oh, how could they do that? No! Which usually happens. You know, I have to be the beta tester because I say I'm going to be the beta tester. But this is the one camera that I got to actually, you know, jump into the waters unafraid, unlike other companies. It's like, oh, you know, any other company is like, I know there's broken glass and an alligator at the bottom of this new pool. It's like, you know, you be the beta tester. It's like, oh, there's going to be something awful at the bottom of this pool. You know? Not with Fuji. And, yeah. So very neat. Yeah, I ran into a guy today at the local camera. Yeah, I bought this camera off of your videos. I never met you before. It's, you know, thanks for the help. You really pushed me over the edge. So, great. No, nobody. Fuji's not giving me anything. I mean, I'm just happy that people are happy. Okay, that's really, really, really is the case. I mean that. Okay. I actually don't like it. You know, people cuss me out. They say various things because they don't like my personality. That's all fine. I don't give a crap about that. You know, I don't give a damn. But if someone says, like, you know, I took my hard-earned money and I bought this thing off your recommendation, and I just feel it's awful and I'm so sad and unhappy, you know, that's like, ooh, that's where you drive a stake right in my heart because I don't ever want to do that. And I'm always trying to avoid ever doing that to anybody. I mean, really, I am. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye. A bunch of tutorials coming tonight on the Fuji X-T2. Late tonight because I've only had like 10 hours of sleep in the past 5 days. Okay, bye.